Yeah.
I want to go to this because I want to talk about both sides of Tucker's speech. I think Hannah Claire is prepared. Luke's prepared because he was there. There's some people that are very happy.
Man. It was wild.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go get an Allegra quick. Hopefully that helps. But I'll join you in 2 minutes. Go ahead.
I mean, you'll have to tell me what you thought in person. Obviously, I wasn't there, and I saw a lot of intense reaction to Tucker Carlson's address at SAS this weekend. I mean, his speech was encompassed more than just his commentary on Epstein and Pam Bondi. I mean, he addressed the cost of housing, the viability of life for young adults in America. But when it comes to the Epstein, comes to the Pam Bondi stuff, it seems like half of the internet is like Trump, Tucker Carlson's an anti-Semite. He is a terrible person. And the other half is like, thank goodness he's talking about this. Luke, what was your impression being there?
I disagree with you because even though that's the situation that we're seeing online, what I saw in...
I'm not giving an opinion. I'm just saying there are two sides of this.
Yeah, there are, but they're not equal, right? Sure. I think one is overwhelmingly being like, we want truth, we want justice here. It is weird, it is suspicious. We had the Israeli prime minister respond to Tucker Carlson today. Tucker Carlson responded to him. So Tucker Carlson's comments, and when I was there, in the room, overwhelmingly people were like, whoa, or like it was like a visceral reaction, like holy cow, he actually said it. Like, I can't believe he's saying this stuff. It was a shock. There's a lot of shock value to what he said here, but overwhelmingly it was met with positive reactions. There's a few people that were like, oh no, boo, but vast majority of people were like, yeah, holy cow, he's actually talking about these legitimate issues that are legitimate and are important to talk about. So overwhelmingly, there's fake videos of people saying that people were walking out during his speech. That's not true. It was late at night, and he was the last one up. It was a long day, and he finished his speech, and everyone applauded. Vast majority of people glued to their seats. Maybe one or two people went to the bathroom, but other than that, no one walked out of his speech. There was no walking out of his speech. His speech was well received, overwhelmingly positive response. Then they ended the speech, the applause came, and then they were like, okay, yeah, we'll do a Q&A. And then the Q&A was when people were walking out. They're like, speech is over. I don't want to listen to the Q&A.
That's not that crazy, especially if it was late at night. Like, I don't know.
And people were like, oh, look at these proud patriots. No, it's just people getting out of the building because the speech was over. Like, it wasn't because they were mad. It wasn't because they were protesting.
It seemed like the people who are mad about it are predominantly online. Like, one of the messages I saw was from, I don't know how to say his name, Amichai Chilsky, I can't say it, but he's the Minister for Diaspora Affairs and Combating Anti-Semitism for the State of Israel. And he wrote this open letter to Charlie Kirk on X saying, how could you platform Tucker Carlson, who's associated with people? It seemed, I mean, to your point, like it was the online reaction afterward, which was much more anger than what we heard in the room when he was actually speaking.
In the room, vast majority positive reaction, vast majority. Online, you see a lot of gaslighting. You see a lot of fake influencers. You see a lot of paid influencers. You see a lot of people just trying to do narrative control. And then you see people getting phone calls being told, shut up, stop talking about this.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting to see comments saying like Tucker Carlson's career is over. He'll never get to do anything again. I mean, he already got like Fox kicked him out. He's already got his own platform. I mean,
Fox is still paying him millions of dollars.
But like he's not on a show there anymore. Like he's in this space where he's free to do whatever he wants. I don't know why this came as such a shock to people. I mean, maybe they just didn't think this is something he would talk about.
It opened up the Overton window. And Jeremy, just so you get my kind of talking points here, vast majority of people in the building overwhelmingly positively reacted to Tucker's speech.
I saw some tweets though. Some people were mad.
That's what I was saying.
They're not fake.
It's fake news. I was there in the room. The speech was over, right? The speech was over.
These tweets weren't about the reaction in the room. Yeah. These were people who are. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was saying what you were saying, which is like, it seems like people in the room interested in what he's saying. Online, there were a lot of people who were extremely mad about what he said, like commentators who weren't there, or I was pointing to like an Israeli government official who has written this letter to Charlie Kirk being like, how could you do this? Jeremy, do you have a take on what Tucker Carlson said or the fate of his career? So many people are saying like it's over for him, and I just don't believe that.
Yeah, that seems really unlikely. He has chosen a path that is a dangerous one, I will say. Like, if everything you say about those people, Hannah Claire, is true, like
news anchors, I mean, they're doing the best they can. They've been led astray.
There was this one from, I think, what was his name? Drew Peanuts or whatever his name was. Hold on, Drew Hernandez. Where is this? This one. I mean, wait, that wasn't it. I don't care about it. I think he's carving out his own path, but like, I didn't hear some of the things he said that I didn't agree with. He was like, well, he was basically like, well, we're screwing around with Iran, which I agree with. Like, that's dumb. But then he's like, he basically wanted to see America completely transformed by now. He was like, well, I mean, there's still homeless people, and like,
yeah,
I feel like that's
talking about how the agenda should be.
I understand
affordable and the economy fair.
I understand, but that's kind of an appeal to like
nationalism.
Yeah, it's like, well, no, there's literally no. If the Trump presidents or the administration had focused on nothing but fentanyl for 6 months, it would still be a problem. And he's like, well, there's still fentanyl and there's still homeless people. So, like, it's just kind of an appeal to the crowd tactic. I'm not saying I disagree with them. Obviously, I did not support the war with Iran.
More of a priority than bombing Iran and sending more missile systems to Ukraine, right? So I think if we're going to be doing anything, we should be prioritizing our interests at home. And I think it's fair to say that a lot of the resources, a lot of the energy that could have been used to help out Americans is being used to bomb countries.
I mean, he was right about kind of his analogy where he's like, I feel like I'm being fed appetizers, because it's kind of true. Yeah. Like, the big wins in America are the Title 9 or Title 9.
Yeah.
Men and that's
compete in women's sports. He's like, I agree with that, but I'm like, that doesn't really push the needle and change the thing, because he
but it was also something but hold on,
are going to be taking our lunch because of the economic inequalities in our society.
I know. However, first of all, Trump ran on that. It was his most effective ad, so he did complete a campaign promise. Second of all, what's that? The getting the men out of women's sports. That was his most effective campaign ad. It wasn't even close. Like, he had to handle that. And I don't think you can just hand wave that away. I mean, it is now codified by the Supreme Court. Like, it's a big deal. Yeah, I agree. Yes, there are still homeless people. Yes, there are still. But I think if you live your life and you're like, it's all or nothing, then you're always going to be upset. Like, you're always going to be underwhelmed. Like, yeah, I think he blew it with the Epstein files. I don't think he blew it because the Jews, like Tucker Carlson, didn't just imply but outright said. I think.
Well, he didn't say the Jews. He said the foreign government operation.
He said Israel in his interview with Turning Point USA. He said they will not be released because they implicate Israel, word for word.
Yeah, like, that's a big difference, saying Israel and Jews. Because I agree, like,
fair.
The Jew hatred is pretty crazy and cringe. But picking a state and a government is different.
I agree with Luke, although I think for some people they are not indistinguishable.
Well, yeah, for some people, yeah.
Yeah,
for me they are.
You shouldn't be lumped in with those people automatically, and I think that's happening a lot, and I think that's not fair.
Yeah, I mean, they did say that at the event too, right? Like, he's like, we're done with the Jews bad thing. Look, I think anytime you criticize Israel, it's a spicy meatball, and it shouldn't be. So I'm glad he's doing it. I do think he's doing it in the way that I don't like. He's doing it in the Jews way, which I don't like.
I'm
sorry.
So.
Yes, he is. He said, we're not releasing the Epstein file because it implicates Israel. He has zero evidence of that. Zero. None. And he didn't provide any evidence. He didn't make any follow-up statement. He stated as fact the Epstein files weren't being released because of Israel, which is bullshit.
Well, there's a lot of connections there, but
sure, but that's not why they're not.
We don't have anything because the government keeps hiding it.
I know, but he didn't say that. He just said because it implicates Israel. That, as a fact, that's why they're not being released. So, like, I'm saying I agree with him. Israel should be questioned, and they have, like a chat, right? Jeremy's defending Israel. No, I'm saying if you have concrete evidence of, the Epstein files being held because it implicates Israel, then give me it, and I will make the video. But I have not seen it other than Ghislaine's family. Has there been any other concrete connection?
Yeah, there's Les Wexner. There's the Prime Minister of
Israel. Lex Wexner was a victim.
I don't think Les Wexner was a victim. His primary cause of life is pretty much Israel, and he's been the main guy that gave Epstein a lot of his money.
But isn't he the Victoria's Secret guy?
Yeah.
He got robbed by Epstein. What are you talking about?
I don't think so. He looks like... I don't think that's the case here.
I don't think they ever made a connection with how Epstein got that money from Lex Wexner. Yeah. Now, maybe he did give it to him. Maybe.
Yeah, to be fair, there's a lot of extrapolations here, right? So... But it
could have been for anything. Yeah,
it could have been anything. But we're left grasping at the straws because we're not getting. We don't need to argue who did it or what did it. We need to argue. Let's release the documents so we know the truth, and we don't know the truth because the government keeps hiding it. And therefore, a lot of the theories out there, I think, are relative, but I think are speculative. And I think we should all just concentrate on give us the information, give us the data, let us get the truth here because we don't. Yeah,
I mean, I think that's fine. We agree on that. I just don't think it's helpful to say, it's not being released because of Israel. He doesn't. If he knows that, then he should be able to substantiate that and say, and all the people who are getting their pubes all twisted up.
He might be right. Who knows?
He might be right, but if well, give me a scrap, man. No, give me something. If he knows, why hasn't he said?
It is interesting though, but by saying it, like the only way to disprove him is to release the documents, unless you're not going to release them, which might prove his point. Like,
but that's right. But that's like
affects the government there. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, but it's a cowardly position because if you know they're not going to release it, you can say whatever you want. They're not going to release the Epstein files because it has proof of alien life. And then if they never release it, then you're automatically right.
Or it's Obama and Clinton. Right, you could say that too.
Right, yeah, you could say that too.
Theory, and that's a little bit more stranger than what Tucker said, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, I happen to believe there's really nothing to release. I mean, it's just going to be like the JFK files.
I disagree. I think there's a lot to release here and a lot of sealed documents. And
do you think they gave us everything for JFK then?
No, they didn't.
But they kept it all for Epstein, not JFK.
No, they didn't give us everything for JFK. Like I know, like Roger.
Oh, you're saying they still have more. But they didn't release it. Oh,
yeah. Roger Stone's pissed at the JFK disclosures because he's like, we're not getting a lot of stuff that we were promised to get that's out there that he knows is out there. And he knows because he was with Nixon. He was with Reagan.
He's been around long enough. Yeah.
He knows where the bodies are buried. And Roger Stone isn't happy.
Yeah.
With the JFK releases.
I hope that they release the files. I'm not shilling for Israel, people who have Israel derangement syndrome. I'm just saying.
Where are you? Who knows?
Right, I might be. I've got the check. I got the shekels. I'm just saying.
You give me a hard time all the time, and then suddenly you're getting real emotional.
Well, I just think it's fucking lame when people are like, well, this is why you state a fact that cannot be disproved. There's a term for that. Like, they're not going to release the Epstein files because of this. When they're never going to release them anyway. You can say whatever the hell you want and be right by default. And I don't like that. If Israel's implicated, I would love to know. And by the way, I have at no point said, in fact, I have many times said that they are involved. In fact, for all the people shitting and pissing their diapers and chat about it, I tweeted that fact. that it's not being released because it must be because Jeremy Hambling's seen. Yeah. They don't have
understand here the likelihood of other governments being involved here is very likely, especially with the kind of history of Robert Maxwell that was running these operations.
Well, MI6 was involved for sure.
Yeah, and I was going to say that it's not just the Mossad here that I think is implicated, but it's also the British intelligence that is involved here, French intelligence under Jean-Luc Bernet that was running a very similar operation in the West, where Jean-Luc Bernet was, even according to official court testimony, providing 12-year-olds to Epstein, running his own blackmail operation, and also met his own demise in a jail cell where the camera stopped working and he allegedly killed himself.
Yeah.
Right? The same kind of trajectory, the same type of stories. So
that's do you believe who said that? Like, basically, they can never release the Epstein files because it will implicate too many governments and would cause like a global collapse. That's what some theory was out there. I buy that more than
theory. Yeah, I don't buy that theory, because if you deserve to be ruined for being a child predator, you should be ruined. But those people deserve accountability. Like, we deserve truth here, and we're grasping at the straws here. And I think we all need to, focus on a unified message. Be like, we could agree to disagree, but let's just get the files, and then I think unified called for that. I think is important, even though. Listen, let's just be honest with ourselves, man. Like, this is just a big black pill for everyone, and it's all to deal with, and it's just a sad kind of event.